many of you have heard the saying abs are made in the kitchen? I know I have. I've heard it a million times before, and honestly, I didn't know what it was or what it really meant. So it's a funny saying that most people don't understand at first, but what's even more confusing is how do we really nutrition? Nutrition can be confusing to anybody. So how do we properly nutrition and understand the meaning of it all? So today we're going to go over the main macronutrients and how they help your body function throughout the day. So we have three categories: protein, carbohydrates, and fats, or AKA lipids. Each macronutrient consists of a certain amount of calories per gram. We have carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram, protein has 4 calories per gram, and fats have 9 calories per gram. Now let's dive right into carbohydrates and how they help your body function. So carbohydrates get a bad reputation typically, but they're really meant mainly for our main energy source for fuel called glucose. Glucose actually it breaks down in the body through cellular respiration, which turns into ATP, which is your primary carrier for energy. ATP helps with your everyday movements like moving your muscles or blinking. People may know carbohydrates just as, pastas or breads, but carbohydrates are much more than just that. They come from apples, grapes, bananas, beans, lentils, and so much more. So let's actually get to our second macronutrient now, which is proteins. Proteins are a great source of nutrients for your muscles. Have you ever been really sore after a good exercise the next couple of days? I know I have. This is actually because when you exercise, you're actually breaking down your muscle fibers. And then protein, it functions to build and repair those muscle fibers and helps your muscles recover faster. This is why you might hear people say, make sure you drink your protein or eat your protein after a good workout so you can repair those muscles and not be as sore. Some good sources of protein come from lean chicken, eggs, oats, low-fat dairy products like yogurt. Mostly all veggies have a little bit of protein. Also nuts, turkey, and fish. Last but not least, we have our fats, aka lipids. They also get a bad reputation since it's the higher calorie content than any other macronutrient. However, since our body can't naturally produce these fats, we need to make sure we get a certain amount of fats for our body to function. There are 3 different kinds of fats. We have trans fats, saturated fats, and unsaturated fats. So trans fats doesn't really have any nutritional value. Therefore, people try to steer away from them. Many processed foods actually contain trans fats. Then second, we have our saturated fats. So typically if taken in larger amounts, this can increase your risk for heart disease. Mainly saturated fats, they're found in animal products with high fat content like beef, pork, the chicken with the skin on it, also butter and high fat cheeses or high fat dairies. And we have our last one, which is unsaturated fats. So these are known as the healthy fats that can benefit your heart health. These fats are mainly from plant sources, just like avocados, peanut butter, olive oil, nuts, salmon, and tuna. So now that I've gone over the 3 main macronutrients, I wanted to go over just the daily recommended intake for these macronutrients. So the USDA recommends a daily intake for carbohydrates to be about 45 to 65%. And then we have protein, which would be 10 to 35% daily intake. And then fats to be about 20 to 35% of your daily intake. So now just keep in mind that these are just a recommended daily value to follow, and not everybody is going to follow these. It just depends what your ultimate goals are. Lastly, this brings us all the way back just to how abs are made in the kitchen. So now, since you know a little bit of what each macronutrient does, you can now go make some of those abs in the kitchen, have fun, and cook away.